Fort Niagara. We first saw this place, we were standing in Canada right over that rock wall. When we saw this building and asked what it was from a local, they said it was some military fort. But so much history here. That's Lake Ontario right out there. The French established this first post here in 1679. In 1726, France finally erected a permanent fortification with the construction of the impressive French castle. Britain gained control of Fort Niagara in 1759 during the French-Indian War after a 19-day siege. The British held the post throughout the American Revolution, but were forced by treaty to yield it to the United States in 1796. Fort Niagara was recaptured by the British in December of 1813. It was ceded to the United States by a second time in 1815 at the end of the War of 1812. The War of 1812 was Fort Niagara's last armed conflict, and it thereafter served as a peaceful border post. Fort Niagara was a barracks and training station for American soldiers throughout both World Wars. The last Army units were withdrawn in 1963. Today, the Coast Guard represents the only military presence on the site. U.S. Coast Guard.
Wow.
Very cool.
Wow.
So much history.
Crazy.
Love how this was spun around.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see that.
See if I can't.
American Army, at least. The first one being make ready, next one being take aim, and the third, of course, being fire.
That was very interesting. I enjoyed that a lot.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
I didn't know we'd be able to go inside the fort all by ourselves. There was nobody else in there when we were in there. Not a single person. We got to go in all those different rooms. One thing you can't experience through video is the smell. Because these old buildings have a certain smell. Just the age of the building, the dampness. Kind of adds to the experience. You just imagine what has taken place behind these walls. You know?
So many different centuries, different countries running it. So.
Yeah, very interesting.
Very chilly.
Very chilly.
A little windy today. The wind chill's brisk.
Yeah. So we're actually headed back down to that Walmart near Niagara. So tomorrow you're going to be joining us. We are going to winterize the van because it is time. Now, have we winterized before?
Not really. Not a full water system winterized.
When we first got the van, before we started filming, our inaugural trip, we went to my brother's house, maybe a couple hours from where we lived, and we actually got snowed in. It was over New Year's. And so that was a huge learning curve. We just left the furnace on at like 75 all day and all night. We weren't even in the van during the day.
Ran the propane out.
Yeah, I ran out of propane on like day 2. We're like, what the heck? Of course, it ran out in the middle of the night. We're out there freezing. We have one blanket. We don't even have a sleeping bag. It was like crazy.
Hey, Pistol, you're blocking the camera. I'm trying to talk here.
She hasn't got enough camera time lately. Yes, you're feeling left out.
Anyway, so it's going to be getting down to below 30, and then if we go to Canada this week, it's probably going to get down even colder. So we're gonna winterize the water system and buy some water.
Yeah,
and
then we don't have to worry about it.
we'll see. Maybe there's like most of the campgrounds, RV parks are closed, but there is one that's supposed to be open not far from the factory that's open until like the end of November, that we can plug in and run electric heater and has showers and laundry and all that stuff. So we are definitely experiencing, I mean, after a year, almost a year full time chasing 75 degrees, to be heading into Canada in November.
We're out of our element is what we're trying to say.
It's kind of like it's an adventure. I'm nervous about it, but
Yeah.
at the same time I'm excited to like be prepared for that kind of situation.
To know we know how.
Yeah.
Yeah, so join us tomorrow. We are going to be taking you along that ride of winterization. Time to winterize.
We're going to winterize the tanks because we've got some really cold weather coming up for just a couple of days, so we're going to go ahead and do it. Been wanting to do it just to go through the process and actually see what it's like to live in the winterized van, because we won't have a water system, so it's going to give it a shot. First thing we got to do is we got to turn off the water pump. We have to drain all the tanks, and you don't want to run your water pump empty because then it loses its prime. We've done it.
Trust me, it's a nightmare.
It's kind of a pain to get the prime back in there, but anyway, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn off the water pump. And there are 2 drains outside the van. One is a gravity drain and one is a water pump drain, but I'm going to open both of those and actually open up all the water supplies just to make sure everything's drained out. And then once that's drained, then we'll go begin with adding the antifreeze. So the gravity drain, the main drain that we use for the freshwater tank, is behind the driver's door underneath here. Forgot, we got to turn off the water heater. It took about maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
The tank was pretty full. It took about a half hour to drain out of there, so I'm just going to go through and shut all the valves.
Okay, so everything's shut. We're going back out here and we're going to be putting antifreeze in the freshwater tank.
All RVs are different. Roadtrek puts their fill right here inside the driver's side door. It works. It's interesting. It works.
Oh, it's interesting.
Well, you know, the one thing I do like about it is it's very secure. No
Yeah.
one's putting anything in there except you. So
Right.
anyway, 50-cent funnel at Walmart.
And how much was the antifreeze?
I think the antifreeze is like almost 2.5 a gallon that we got.
Yeah,
for it.
and let me see. RV and marine. Okay. Safe photo. Okay. Here we go. Second gallon going in. And now the last half gallon going in. We're putting in 2.5 gallons into the fresh water tank. We are doing this in a Walmart parking lot, by the way.
It seems weird. It's like 50 degrees and sunny and no wind and warm today. Like I'm winterizing the van.
But it's gonna get cold, so. Hi, bud.
Some like.
Hi. Oh. Well, the party's all here. Oh boy.
Water pump comes back on. Now the pump's on, so we're gonna have to turn cold water on until we see pink.
Pink.
Okay.
So now we're back inside. We're gonna be putting the remainder of the antifreeze down the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, and the shower drain. So I guess that's that. We're gonna go dump our gray and black tank, and then if we want to use the toilet, we just flush with antifreeze and we're good to go. We're pretty much going to be turning the water pump off and not using that at all now.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And we'll probably just to be on the safe side. I know we put half gallon down all the drains. That's what the instructions said to do. But then we got to drain the tanks. So I'm going to actually put some more antifreeze in the black and gray, just so that the bottom of the tank actually has antifreeze.
I feel like you can't be too careful.
Yeah, I just don't want to.
Yeah, rather do that now than deal with the crisis later.
Yeah, it's $2.
All right, off to drain tanks, and we're good to go. We'll keep you guys posted how this winterizing thing goes. So we're gonna go buy a bunch of water. And
Winterizing is gonna go fine. It's living in a winterized van that'll be a little bit different.
Yeah, and you know, I think we've talked about and we decided if it's getting too cold, I mean, I don't want to be in the van when it's in the teens. It's just not fun. You can't be outside. It's too cold, you know.
We can either go plug in, but there's very few places to plug in right now. Up here, everything's closed, so we may do an Airbnb for a few days because there's just a couple days where it's going to be like 20 during the day as a high, and in the like 15 or 17 at night for a low. And our propane's just going to run all night long just to keep the place heated. And so
that might
we've been in the van for almost a year. I think a hotel would be like a vacation.
It would be. Maybe we have a hot tub.
Hot tub and a pool. And
So we'll keep you posted about that and let you know how all this is going for us. We'll catch you on the flip side. Hit that subscribe button. See you guys.